Police are searching for at least 2 gunmen who opened fire on a Southwest Atlanta home and killed a grandmother who was holding her grandson.
Calls for justice from a grieving family after a 57-year-old grandmother was shot and killed in her Southwest Atlanta home.
And they say this grandmother was the nucleus of their family, and they say that they also considered her a hero because she was actually holding her 2-month-old grandson and trying to protect him when she was shot.
57-year-old Andrea Brown, affectionately known as Squinch to her family, was a loving, kind, loyal, and sweet woman. She was the heart and soul of her close-knit family, with her home being the usual gathering place for cherished family celebrations, including Thanksgiving and Christmas. Her love for her family and her vibrant spirit made her the life of the party. She was also known for taking in others who needed help or had no place to go. Most importantly, Andrea was a mother of 3 and a grandmother to a 3-month-old baby boy. Andrea recently lost a grandchild and also beat cancer. As she often did, Andrea was at home spending quality time with her family. No one could have predicted the tragedy that would soon take place. Around 5 a.m. on October 24th, Atlanta police responded to a home on Highway Road, just off of Beecher Road in southwest Atlanta, for reports of a shooting. Upon entering the home, they would locate the body of an unresponsive adult female inside of a bedroom.
I'd say somewhere between 6-7 shots, and it was just straight on fire. Like you said, there might have been 2 shooters.
Neighbors say multiple shots rang out about 5 a.m. Tuesday morning in this normally quiet neighborhood on Highview Road off of Beecher Road in southwest Atlanta.
They were shooting from the street into the house, indiscriminately into the house, and this woman was shot while she was in her room. There were several occupants in the house, including children. So the suspects just shot into this house and didn't care for life. And as stated earlier, working to identify the suspects.
Meantime, neighbors say they regret the deadly shooting, but are not surprised by the violence at this particular home.
If she was an innocent victim, then apparently she wasn't the target. Then will they come back and get the target?
The victim was identified as 57-year-old Andrea Brown, who was taken to Grady Memorial Hospital, where she was sadly passed away after succumbing to multiple gunshot wounds. According to family members who were at the home during the time of the shooting, Andrea was inside of her bedroom with her 3-month-old grandson when at least 2 gunmen pulled up to the curb and opened fire into the home. As Andrea made it a point to shield her grandson, roughly 6 to 7 shots came through the bedroom, striking her as she held her grandson in her arms. Although police do not believe that Andrea herself was the intended target, they do believe the home itself was targeted. However, Andrea was the only one hit. There were several occupants inside of the home, including children. The gunfire awakened many in the neighborhood, and the loss of Andrea has left her family and the community in mourning. They are hoping that through surveillance footage provided by the family, Andrea is able to get justice as soon as possible.
We're still looking for the person responsible for shooting and killing a 57-year-old grandmother. The suspect or suspects opened fire into a southwest Atlanta home where children were also inside. Teresa Boyle spoke with neighbors and the victim's sister.
Neighbors say they heard multiple gunshots fired at this home, but Atlanta police don't believe 57-year-old Andrea Brown was the intended target. A jolt in the still of the night.
The shot was distinctive because it was so quiet. It startled me out of my sleep, but I know it was rapid fire, consecutive shots, about maybe 6 or 7 shots.
Those shots killed 57-year-old Andrea Brown inside her home. Patrick Jolie owns the home across the street on Highview Road in southwest Atlanta. His senses heightened as the worst started flowing through his mind.
The bullet had flown and pierced, the bed, because my daughter's bedroom and my granddaughter's bedrooms are right here, facing the front. I heard a woman's cry, and I heard the sound of a dog barking.
Then the sound of police sirens in the distance. Jolie said he and his family are used to activity at this house, like noisiness and company.
My sister, her whole life, been caring for family members, children, standing in the gap. Even our own mother had her issues, had to go to prison, and she was my guardian, my brother guardian.
Andrea Brown's sister, Kimberly Brown Mack, says Andrea would take anybody in, especially young people. She was even holding her 3-month-old grandbaby, who happens to be named Chosen, when the shots went off.
Nobody's perfect, but a good heart, somebody that'll give her last for everybody.
When Kimberly heard her sister, affectionately called Squinch, likely saved her grandchild's life, she was at a loss. She says Andrea recently lost a grandbaby and beat cancer.
She was just caught in the crossfire of some foolishness. Turn yourself in, because God knows I don't want to see no more parents or family members have to go through this.
She does want to know what happened that caused her sister to lose her life. Atlanta Police Homicide Commander Jermaine Dearlove says they plan to find out who shook up this neighborhood.
We can't have these folks walking around in our city.
Investigators haven't released a possible motive, only that they want to find who's responsible and get them off the streets. As the investigation unfolds, the Atlanta police are actively pursuing leads to bring the perpetrators to justice and provide some closure to Andrea's grieving family and community affected by this senseless act of violence. The case remains ongoing.